Is there any benefit from dating you in your 20s that a man wouldn't be able to get now?
In where I in my age now.
Right, that he wouldn't be able to get now if he wanted.
No, I would have to say no. For me personally, no.
So you would say for you personally, no. Okay, that's
I would
that's
say for
that's
me
okay.
personally, no.
Well, what about it? What about in general?
In general, see, I would have to be speaking on my young women, and I don't. Ew, I'm not okay with that. But I'm just gonna try. Let me see if I could try to just give you a standard answer. Well, I mean, in some cases, it might be the physical aspect. In some cases, if you're
Okay,
kind of a
so
superficial person, um, and of course, not being mature
right.
enough to, but typically, if you have a young man and she's a young woman, they may already be on the same level. So,
What if it's an older man and it's a younger woman?
okay, now that's different. That I never understood that. I never understood an older man wanting to date a younger woman. Unless, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the only thing that will be a plus, a pro in a relationship like that to me would be the sexual aspect and likely, the physical aspect. But an older man dating a younger woman, it's the communication is totally off unless she's a more mature younger woman. So you have to always take something like that into consideration, whether it's one or the other. You may find a young man who dates a young woman who's mature. You may find a young woman who dates an older man and she's mature. So that takes a different turn. But if we're looking at it just on the surface, an older man and a younger woman really have nothing in common when it comes to uh, um, emotional things. And the only thing that would, to me, would be a pro would be the physical aspect. He may want, the appearance of a younger woman around him, her body, things of that nature, and sexually. But as far as the emotional connection and being able to communicate on an intellectual level, that's it's not gonna happen unless the woman is a mature young woman.
So if a man is 40 years old, how much younger could he date to where he don't really step over into that criteria that kind of makes it incompatible?
25,
So a
I
40
believe.
year old could date a 25-year old and she wouldn't be considered a younger woman?
She would be, but she would be a more mature younger woman.
Okay, so 25 would be good. Okay.
So that would, I'm saying, that will keep him out of the realm of having to deal with the stuff that you would be dealing with on the surface. A
So
25-year-old will be somewhat a little bit more mature.
okay. So let's say that that'll be a 15-year gap, right?
Right.
So anything over 15 years is ridiculous.
It's a challenge.
It's gonna be a challenge.
It's a challenge.
So if you're a 50-year-old man, a
Oh,
50-year-old baller, you're a millionaire, uh, dating a 25-year-old wouldn't make sense.
no, it would not.
Hmm.
It would not. Not if you're serious about that person. Not if you
Mm.
want to be serious. You just want eye candy, or you just want, to play, and you just want to be able to say, oh, I'm dating a 25-year-old. And typically, somebody that old, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So 9 times out of 10 is everything except I want a serious relationship.
So a man like Idris Elba got no business dating a 25-year-old.
I don't. Is his wife 25? I don't
You
think
know
she's
what? I don't even
25.
know.
No, I don't think she's 25 at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Because some of these 50-year-old men.
I mean, yeah, because I said 25 is a more mature age.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any business dating anybody 24 and below. Now,
Okay.
I typically don't condone relationships where the guy is 50, like you said, and dating a younger woman. 40
So what do you say?
25, I think is okay.
So what do you say to a 50-year-old man who's dating a 24 or 23-year-old woman, supermodel or whatever? Would you say that he's in over his head?
I would. That's what. So let me get clarity, because we've been kind of going back and forth. So 25 to me is a more mature woman. 24 and below, you will have challenges. Any man 50 should not be dating anybody less than 35. Any man 50 and over should not be dating anybody younger than 35. So again, I'm giving you clarity. 25 is a more mature age for a female. Any man that is 50 should not be dating anybody that's younger than 35. If he really wants compatibility in his relationship, if he's really serious.
Oh, wow.
And any man that's 40, yes, he can date 24 and below, but it will be challenges.
Mm. Oh, wow.
And that's just, this is all based on my experience.
I heard that. I know that's right. So what is the challenge is so I know I talk to a lot of brothers, and a lot of brothers have this belief, or and it could be based off of their experiences or experiences of other men that they've surrounded themselves with, and they would say that it's also challenging, or even more challenging, to date a woman who's over her prime age. What would you say to men who say that? They probably are they just picking wrong, or maybe they may be delusional?
What age range is this man?
Well, you got this thing, you got this term called leftover women. Have you familiar with that term?
Yeah, I've heard you mention that. I've heard you talk about that.
And the reason why these guys would say that is because, well, basically they wouldn't want to cross a certain threshold of women. I think that's typically around, once a woman start to peak over 30 years old, they're like, okay, look, that's where I'm gonna stop at. Regardless if they keep, growing that age. So does that even make sense to you, given your, what you just previously said? Because it kind of puts him, if a man really wants to take your advice and he has that in his mind, it's kind of probably going to confuse him, like, well, damn, I can't. So I have to date a woman that's, over 30, to get a meaningful relationship,
And
or should I just
it's really all of this is subjective, because a lot of who you are is based on your experiences. A lot of who you are is based on your upbringing, your education, your understanding of things, whether you're a religious person or not. It's so many factors that make up one individual.
Right.
So we can go on and on and on about all of these different scenarios, but really it all boils down to who that person is as an individual. She
Who
could
you
be a
are as a person.
25-year-old, extremely mature, understanding, career oriented individual. And she can date a 40, 45, 50-year-old and they would absolutely be fine because she's on their level. But she could also be a 25-year-old that is playing around, that's unsure of herself, that's carrying a lot of trauma, and a man 40 and up, there's not going to be any substance in that relationship. So it really just depends on the individual.
Right.
I'm going to be honest, King. It really depends on
I
the
agree.
individual.
I agree with you on that. It depends
Um,
on you as an individual. I agree.
However,
Uh-oh.
I was going to say the man that feels like he doesn't want to date what you call quote unquote leftover women, honestly, that will be a case by case basis. He may date a woman in that age range that he finds absolutely phenomenal. They're compatible, they understand each other, they get along, they understand sacrifice, commitment. You can find that in a woman that is outside of your window of age, that you're saying, you're not going to go to that age level, that age bracket. And then you can find like the worst experience ever in a woman. So it's so hard to say, don't consider those things. But what I would say is have an open mind, have an open heart, because you never know what's really for you until you try it.
Until you try it.
So don't look at, an older woman and say, oh no, I know she's going to have this, and this going on. And you can't really guarantee that.
Right.
And some women typically are mature enough to say and to have the knowledge and understanding of what somebody that's in a different age range may, like, or may want, or may, what level of understanding they may be on, and they can meet them halfway. So it just depends. And I don't like that they stereotype a certain age range. That's why I told you when you asked me about the 20-year-olds and the 25, I was just like, I hate to speak on things like that, because you're actually saying, I know for sure you are these things, and that's, we can't really predict that.
That's right.
We
Right.
can't really predict that.
All right.
So
Before we move on, is it safe if one wanted to, is it safe to say that the whole thing would be different for a woman who was dating younger?
no. You mean would it be different? If it's a woman dating an older woman dating a younger man?
Right.
No, because then you have older, immature women. I mean, it's safe to say a lot of things, but you're still going to always have that window where you might not get what the statistics told you would get.